Let's talk about Penny from My 600-Pound Life, Season 2, Episode 3, which premiered January 21st, 2014. At the start of the show, she is 45 years old and she is 530 pounds. She lives in Maryland with her husband and her son, who's currently in kindergarten. Her family packs up, they move from Maryland to Texas, and so that she can get weight loss surgery. In the first month, she's able to lose 40 pounds, which is enough for Dr. Now, and so he schedules her surgery. Month 2 to month 4, she is in the hospital and she manages to lose 0 weight. So Dr. Now says, I'm sorry, you need to leave the hospital. You're clearly getting a lot of food snuck into you, so you need to go home. So her husband has gotten an apartment there in Houston, Texas, so she goes back there. In months 6 and 7, she has a physical therapist that comes to her that will eventually be with her for 4 months. And in month 7, they're sitting there one night and she's like, I just am not losing weight because I was given none of the tools. I wasn't given a diet plan. I wasn't given anything, which we all know is false. We know that he gives everybody the diet plan, the high protein, low carb, the 1,200 calories, all of the food that they're supposed to be eating and not eating, the exercises they're supposed to be doing every day. He has an actual book that he gives them now. I don't know if he had it in a book form back then, because again, this was over 10 years ago. He at least had the handouts, like a printed version of it he gave to her, because he even asked her at the hospital and she said, yes, I have it. Don't be lying, Penny. You were given the tools. You admitted to it. They finally get her back to the hospital after missing 2 of her appointments, and she has gained 5 pounds. Shortly before this, she's sitting there and they're making dinner, and she's having a whole plate of wontons that they deep fried at home. She still thinks she's on the plan. Fast forward to month 10, she's been on PT for 4 months. It's been 9 months since her surgery, and she is still unable to stand and walk around. She had really hoped to be able to stand and walk so that she could go to her son's kindergarten graduation, but unfortunately she misses that goal. In month 11, claiming that she still has not been given any of the tools, Dr. Now sends a nutritionalist over to see her, and they talk about things in the fridge, and they talk about diet plan and healthy versus not healthy, etc. It seems to make an impact on the husband, but it makes no impact on her, because as soon as the nutritionist leaves, she says that that was a bunch of BS. So in month 12, she's still 495, which is 5 pounds up from her surgery. And Dr. Now says, I think the best is for you to go home, so they decide to move back to Maryland. She came back for Where Are They Now, Season 1, Episode 13. And this aired 1 year after her first episode, so January 21st, 2015. They're back in Maryland at this point, and she keeps missing all the appointments with Dr. Now. She does eventually see a therapist, and they talk about a lot of stuff. And during that conversation, she says, oh, I'm down to 400 pounds, so I've lost around 230 pounds. However, they don't have an official weight on her because she's not going to any of her appointments. Even if she was down to 400 pounds, that would only be 130 pound weight loss. Then she claims, well, I don't actually officially know how much I weigh because I have this horrible infection, and so it's causing a lot of fluid retention, so that's why the scale's going to show more. So we leave the episode, and she still doesn't know what she weighs. It just says weight unknown at this point. She's still reliant on oxygen. She still can't get up. They said that she only gets out of bed every other month or maybe once a month. That ended filming at the end of 2014, premiered in 2015, and this is what I found out about her in the last decade. So on her husband's Instagram, he did post this in 2019. However, this photo is actually from the show, so this photo is not from 2019. About 6 months ago, back in 2024, she did start posting these little crocheted animals and said in the comments that if you want any, that she is selling them. And this photo was posted in 2016. However, the little boy doesn't look any older, so I'm going to imagine this is probably an old photo that was just reposted. She does have a friend that every couple of days does tag her in posts. So we know that she still is alive, and she mentioned Etsy. So I went on Etsy and I did find somebody that matches her name and her location who is selling these artwork. This one up here kind of reminds me of the ocean. This one I'm not really sure, maybe like the galaxy, but this one to me kind of looks like when you're looking at your MRIs and it's like going through and all the images. Oh, I did check her Facebook, her Instagram, any social medias, her husband's, her son's, and nobody has posted really any updates. The husband literally lives on Facebook and is posting almost every hour, but it's all reposts of stuff. It's no original content. That's probably likely because I'm not either of their friends, and I'm not going to be a weirdo and like ask to be their friend. And there are several thousand photos that I can't see because, again, I'm not their friend, so I don't know if anything has actually been posted about her, her weight loss, her photos, anything like that. I also read through several articles and no one else could find anything else about her. It doesn't seem like she's been interviewed. There's nothing on Reddit, so she really just after her episodes kind of went private and fell off. Her little boy would be around 14 or 15 or something like that around this time. I did find it sounds like he is in baseball, and I'd really love to hear an update from her. I hope that she is doing well, but I have to probably assume that since there's been no posts, no updates, anything like that, that likely she has not lost any additional weight. She could just want to be really private. That is totally up to her. Her episodes were over 10 years ago, and I just wish her and her family all the best.